comic book lovers, fellow geeks, readers, friends, Romans. Now I'm messing with you guys. What's up, guys? Marvin and Kid here coming to you again. I hope everybody had a good weekend and enjoyed the Independence Day. Had a good 4th of July as well. Uh, and for all those who went and checked out, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll give you basically, you get a shout out this time, guys. There's a couple of guys getting shout outs this time around. You got my two bros my two brothers from another mother, Deadpoolzilla, Zip Block Gory, Sick Rick Josephs, Tori GNR, and Movie Geek 17. Rodney 383. All their channels will be in the description as well. Check them out, subscribe to them, do whatever you need to. Good people, good friends. Now, why did I pick all of them? Well, because I wanted to. Yeah, okay. But no, other than that, you won't be disappointed in those guys. I promise you. And yeah, there may be a little bit because they did do reviews on the movie. Okay, but even if I didn't, they would still get shout outs on my channel as well. Uh, I did a review, of course, on my main channel. Go check it out. But this channel is basically about the comics, right? So this week was kind of short for me. I had to help out a family member that really kind of needed, so I had to help. Couldn't get as much comics I wanted. My store was lived on the Red Lantern book, so I couldn't get the Red Lantern. Um, but I did get a pretty much decent amount uh, that I wanted to get. I still got pretty much what I wanted to get. Pretty much. Okay, so now that we are officially in July, the lineups change. How I will display. So now the lineup will go basically DC, Independent, and I will end on Marvel. So let's get started with DC, shall we? I will get my books. Do. All right. Do 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 do. I have 2, 3, 4, 5 DC books to cover for you, and 6 Marvel. Like I said, couldn't get everything I wanted. Helping out family. Family comes first. All right, so here we go. We'll kick it off with Batwing number 11. This is still continuing the story arc of where Nightwing guest stars in the book with David Nightwing. And they're back. They were in China looking for this nuclear physicist, and they run into this overlord named Long. Now, in Chinese, Long means dragon. So he pretty much he metamorphs into this dragon-like creature right here, as you can see. Jude Winnick does a very good job on this. He still is doing a very decent job on Batwing. And like I said, Marcus 2, I'm really loving his artwork. I really have come quite fond of his artwork. The character Long in this is no joke, very no joke. But Nightwing and Batwing actually work very well together. Their chemistry is really good. Could we see a kind of more team ups between them? I wouldn't be surprised because they really shine together. I really enjoyed their team up. I don't want to spoil too much of the plot, but if you are reading Batwing, as I always say, and quote me, and I quote, DC the perfect choice out of all the characters that are out of Batman Inc. to give a solo title to Batwing. Thank you. All right. Next up, Detective Comics number 11. Yeah, they're going to keep marketing Dark Knight Rising on top. Tony Daniels. Yeah, let me say this right out the bat. Mr. Daniels, it's been a pleasure. Very good pleasure. And it's going to be really sad to see you leave this book. If you don't know, Tony Daniels is leaving the book. Um, but the fight between Batman and Mr. Toxin, I know that name just sounds really but it was actually really good in this. Mr. Toxin is, I really want to know a little bit more about Mr. Toxin. He's actually a cool character. I mean, very interesting character. Um, and I love that, it took Bruce a while to beat this guy. It wasn't like Bruce came in and beat him down, no problem. It's really good, interesting, very good, interesting story. I really enjoyed it. That cover is pretty much kind of sums up the fight. It's a pretty much fight with Bruce in this fight, in this book. And of course, the Two-Face backstory was still excellent as well. Um, so I really enjoyed this as well. But yeah, it's gonna be sad. I'm gonna miss you, Mr. Daniels. You did a very good job on this book. Very good job. Detective Comics, number 11. All right. Now, unfortunately, like I said, I had to put some DC book backs, because or the other reason was because some of them were sold out. But I did get my hands on Earth 2. Yeah, I was looking forward to this. The James Robinson introduces us to the Green Lantern of Earth 2. Let me tell you something. Despite everybody, razzing on, Alan Scott's new costume and everything like that, this was actually good in my opinion. I actually liked his pretty much they've kept the origin pretty much still true to the original 1940s origin. He was in a train. Alan Scott was in a train accident. That's where the green mystical flame came to him. They pretty much claim to do the same thing in this. Um, it's sad to know that Alan's lover died in yes, I'll spoil a little bit. His lover did die, but the green flame comes in and talks to him and tells him like, you are the new defender of Earth. You are my. And Alan's all like, I don't know how am I supposed to do. I mean, he's burnt up. Alan's burnt. His flesh is all burnt up. He's lost an eye. And this. But the green flame heals him and pretty much says, the green. He's talking to him like, you know, and then and he asks him, okay, if you were supposed to be a defender, then how come you weren't around when Apocalypse attacked us? The Green Flame replies, because you had a sun god among you, talking about Superman. So it was actually good, but then he goes on to tell him there's a darkness coming and we need you and you are chosen. Things like that. And you see what happens. He gets the flame endowes him with the power, and Alan is the one that makes this costume. He's the one tells him, and he focuses it into the ring. Basically a token of the ring that he was going to give his lover. No. And then of course we get a little bit more in depth what's going on with Jay and Hawk Woman on the other, and she kind of seeing what he can do and everything like that. Um, and I thought that was really funny because she was like, "Okay, so what do you call yourself?" And he's like, "Well, my real name's Jay." And she's like, "No, you idiot! What's your alias? What do you?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't know." I thought that was really funny too. But it's the dark force that's coming that actually kind of gave me like, ooh, yeah, here we go. The force that seems that's going to bring this new JSA together. Now, uh, don't want to spoil too much, but let's just say he is an original enemy of Alan Scott. And what else can I give you? His first name is a famous king. Okay, yeah, that's what I'll give you. Uh, a famous king that begins with an S. There you go. Yeah. But other than that, I really enjoyed this. I really did. Next up, they're going to introduce the Atom. So that's going to be interesting to see. And yeah, Earth 2. All right, guys. And once again, now, yep, once again, something new to the pull list. Something close to my childhood, guys. Something that I was looking forward to when I heard they were going to do it. Something that James Robinson and Philip Tan brings to us. And that is none other than He-Man and the Masters of the Universe #1. This is a mini-series that DC is bringing us. And who better to reintroduce He-Man? James Robinson does a very good job in this book. Wow. I was impressed. Excuse me. Mouth is dry. All right. Okay. James Robinson. Philip Tan's artwork, superb. Does a very good job at reintroducing the most powerful man in the universe, He-Man. Very good job. But he introduces it a little differently. That actually still had me locked in. Like, oh, okay, now where are they going with this? Without spoiling too much for you, it seems to me that Adam seems to have lost his memory or something like that. He doesn't know if that's what from what I got from this is that it doesn't seem that he knows that he is a prince, things like that, because he goes on to talk about I had a dream again last night where I was someone special, someone powerful. So he doesn't know, and he wakes up and he says it's just a dream. But what really kicks me is the fact that he thinks he's just a woodsman, But then all of a sudden we get this really in-depth fight between Beastman and Prince and Adam, which came off so well done. It was so good. Beastman looked really intimidating. The way Philip Tan drew him, excuse me, really good. And it's Adam really using his wits in this to defeat Beastman. Yes, he beats Beastman, but it's how he does it that really makes it so keen and so precise that I loved it. And then at the end of the book, who do we see? Oh, you know who. Basically saying, spread the word to everybody. So it makes me wonder, like, okay, has Adam lost his memory? He doesn't know that he's Prince Adam. He doesn't know he could turn into He-Man. What happened to the power sword? Everything. But Zorar, the Falcon that the sorceress turns to, is with him. So she's guiding him somewhere. From this first issue, very well done. I read a lot of other people's reviews on it, from Comic Vine to other people like that, and they really are intrigued by what James Robinson is going to do with this miniseries. Very well done. If you are a He-Man fan, pick this book up. You will not be disappointed. I guarantee you. All right. And the last DC book that I picked up was none other than, JLI #11. Once again, another bittersweet book to me. Once again, I'm sorry, but Jan Jurgens, good job as always. Thumbs up. DC, you get this, because once again, fuck you all for canceling this book. Okay? Fuck you. All right? The title, Battle Royale. Yeah. This is pretty much, it comes down to a battle royale between Breakdown and his legion against the JLI. And let me tell you, we see some kick-ass fighting from not Guy. Well, yeah, we see Guy, not Booster, not Godiva, not even Omac or Batwing. We see General August and Iron. Really, oh man, he really stepped up and he really kicked some ass in this book. I was loving it. Um, Guy takes on Lightweaver right here, and it really seems to really showcase the fact that when they use their power sometime together, they can cancel each other out, which is really cool. Um, what happens to Breakdown in this book? What General August and Iron does was crazy. Omac even he starts to go all crazy in this at one point in the book, which I don't want to spoil too much, guys. I'm sorry. But yeah, it was Booster just really steps up. He's trying to be the leader, of course, and he steps up pretty much. I love his monologue when he's fighting Breakdown. At one point, he's like this is for my friend Ivan. He was a good, decent man. You killed him, you bastard. And he's talking about Rocket Red, Red Rocket. I hope I'm saying his name right. This is for fire. This is for he's just seriously just kicking Weaver's Breakdown's ass, and then all of a sudden he's like Iron, I softened him up for you. You can take him down now with pleasure. Oh my God, this was so good. This was really fun. The title says it all. Battle Royale, definitely. And that cover, David Finch, good stuff. Very good stuff. But once again, bittersweet as always, because they're canceling the book after the next issue. Once again, Mr. Dan Jurgens, bow, salute you, tip my hat, thumbs up. But for DC, you get this, and you get... No, I'm not going to do the other one. Okay? Kiss my ass for, screwing... I don't care if the sales or whatever. This was a good damn book. Okay? And my mouth is dry again. Sorry. All right. Next up, we move to Marvel. And I have 6 Marvel books for you. And that's it. All right. So we'll kick it off with this time. We'll kick it off. Amazing Spider-Man number 689. They're still continuing the whole, Lizard. Woo. Okay. What you thought happened in the last issue, 688. Let's just say it didn't really go down that way. All right. Didn't go down the way we thought. Kirk Connors is back. Or is he? Without spoiling too much for you, the bottom line is Kurt ain't who he says he is. This is, you know the old saying, the chameleon has shown his true colors, or you're the wolf in sheep's clothing. Oh yeah. Believe it or not, people, and I'm going to spoil this for you guys. This is actually the Lizard in Kurt Connors' body. With the still Lizard persona. Kurt Connors, the Lizard said it right. Connors is dead. That's true. Now, Morbius, yeah, he's in it, and basically, Connors sets Morbius up. Well, I should say Lizard in Connors' body sets Morbius up lovely, but it's really tragic how he sets him up. But yeah, Spidey's like, okay, fuck that shit. All right, I'm going after Morbius, and I'm taking him down enough. And we pretty much see that. In the meantime, with no superhuman being around to protect the people of Horizon, the Lizard puts his plan into motion. And that's pretty much what happens in this book. But yeah, that's true. It's no turning back for the Lizard. There's right. This was excellent. Dan Slott, once again, no slouch with Spidey. No slouch whatsoever. Good stuff. Good read, as always. Right. Now, we move on to round number 7. Once again, I was only able to get the variant edition cover of Avengers versus X-Men. I'm with the Avengers. All right. Okay, how can I sum this up? All right. The Avengers are on the run. The X-Men are pretty much hunting them down, and they do some things in here that are really, really like what I've been saying. That the Phoenix power is corrupting them. I don't care what you say, what you people say, what everybody says about, oh, you got to feel for the X-Men, they're the power is literally corrupting them. And you see it plain in day in this book by a couple of characters. Now, the X-Men fear Wanda. Wanda's back, and they fear her. They know she is capable of doing some damage to them, even with their powers. And now we finally get to see Lorna, Polaris, and Havoc. Because I was always wondering, like, where does Havoc stand with this, with his brother now with the Phoenix powers? We see them. We see them now in this. And, you know, I figure, blood is blood, so, he's going to stick with. But now I'm starting to think that some of the X-Men really start be looking at those five, like, should we truly trust them? Like, come on, like, they've got, it was ever able to control the Phoenix. Not even Jean. The Phoenix Force is too powerful. Even if it is divided into five, it's still the Phoenix. Okay, but bottom line, Hawkeye gets really hurt in this book. I'm talking literally burnt to death. Emma burns him. I think it's Emma. Burns him, and I thought they were going to kill Hawkeye again. I was like, oh, you didn't. But then, she's like, Emma's like, I didn't mean to hurt him. Like, I didn't mean to. He's healing. She's healing him and things like that. And I give Scott some credit here. He's like, we're not trying to hurt them and everything like that. We just want to capture them. He's trying to stay on that thin line. And then you got Namor here saying, we're at war, Summers. Okay, it's survival of the fittest. We can kill them, blah, blah. And, basically, Scott's like, okay, that's duly noted. I'll keep that in advisement. But no. And then Namor's like, look, you may be a great leader, Summers, but you're a poor ruler. Right there, I'm like, okay. See, that's what Namor thinks what they are now. Okay? That's what's going on. And I'm like, all right, there you go. All right. And then that bitch, once again, Emma Frost, comes out and tells Namor that, look, Scott's in his own, he's trying to be the Boy Scout, yada, yada, yada. Okay? Which I'm praying, Marvel, you kill this bitch. Kill her. I don't give a damn. I could care less about Emma. Kill her. Anyway, she comes out and she says, look, we know where they have Transonic. She's in Wakanda. And I didn't tell Scott. So you can go and invade Wakanda and do what you do best. Kisses the guy. And I'm like, okay, you see, this is what I'm talking about. She's corrupted. They're corrupted. She's a bitch. She deserves to die. End of discussion. And that's what happens. Namor goes, at the end of the book, Namor pretty much sends a tidal wave to Wakanda. And it's like, what you gonna do now? Right? So, bottom line is, and once again, they draw Rachel in here looking really young. Like in this, how old is Rachel? Rachel's like what, 16, 18 or something? In this book, she looks damn near 13 years old. And I'm like, what the damn? Like, okay. But the fact of the matter is, she wants to help the X-Men. She said it. She said it to all the Avengers. She's like, look, I want to help my friends. Because when I look at them, I'm fear for them. I'm scared of them. Like, this is not them. And it's true. It's not them. Even Colossus, I'm like, Peter, this is not you, man. What the fuck, man? Come on. I can't wait to see what they do with more. I mean, there's some tidbits that I saw. I mean, like Namor, and then I think round 9 we saw SpiderMan. Like, basically is saying the last Avenger standing, and I'm like, holy shit, what's going to happen? But it was okay, but it's a little anticlimactic in a way. But yeah, hey Marvel, do me a favor. If there was one thing I wanted from you guys to do to somebody to die, fucking kill Emma Frost. I'm sorry, kill that bitch. That bitch can die. All I care. I can care less. All right, next up, Punisher number 12, Greg Roca. As I always keep saying, keep doing your thing, bro. Marvel, keep this guy in the book. So basically, this is basically Frank and Rachel Coles getting to the exchange, the people that they're looking for. Rachel, and they get on board their boat where they're having like a meeting or so, and they pretty much cause havoc. That's the mission at hand. However, um, Rachel really, she's not looking at the mission in a whole. She's looking at it like she still wants to get revenge on the people who murdered her fiance, her husband, and her family on her wedding day. And you got Frank actually trying to tell her like, look, we'll get them, but the mission comes first. And that was really intriguing for Roca to write in there to show, like, wow, look at Frank actually being the kind of like the mentor to Rachel Coles and telling him like, look, we're gonna do it, but you just do it, just listen to what I'm telling you. And I was like, wow, that's good stuff right there. Roca doing a fantastic job on this Punisher number 13. Good stuff. If you're not reading it, catch him in trade or find him. You will not be disappointed with this volume of the Punisher. All right. Next up, Ultimate Spider-Man number 12. All right. Yeah, that sums it up pretty much. Yeah. Miles and his uncle, the Prowler of this universe, duke it out. They actually have it out. Miles, he's basically like, look, Uncle, I'm done with you. I'm done with you. You stay away from my family. You stay away, you know, and, I'm not going to do what you tell me to do. His uncle is basically like, look, I made you. I own you. I own you. You disrespect me and everything like that. And we get a decent fight between nephew and uncle in here. Um, his uncle actually uses the Shockers vibrating bands to fight him. I was like, whoa, isn't that the Shocker stuff? And I was like, but yeah, and it gets to the point where the people see Spider-Man and see him, Miles in a costume, and because his uncle actually, and you got people, Miles is helping people. It's like, come on, let me help you out of there. And one woman says, you're a lot stronger than you look. And he's like, you got to be. And the woman even says, I'm glad you're not dead. And people were cheering on him. Go, Spidey, go, fight this guy. What's that guy's problem? Everything like that. And it basically shows that the people missed Spidey. They do miss him. But something tragic happens at the end of this book. But I don't want to spoil that. But yeah, fight between uncle and nephew. Really good stuff. Still, all new Spider-Man for the Ultimate lineup. This has been the best out of all of them. Out of them. Very good stuff. Bendis, very good job. But I still want the original artist back on board. I miss her artwork. All right. And yeah, Wolverine number 110. Jeff Loeb and Simone uh, Blanchi is the artist on this book. Sorry. This is the explaining of how Sabretooth is reborn. Now, we remember way back in maybe during Wolverine number 55 or so, or however you want to classify that, we saw the final battle between Wolverine and Sabretooth. And what happened? Wolverine cut Sabretooth's head off with the Muramasu sword. Excuse me. And pretty much left him for dead. Now, what happens in this book is Romulus comes back and he kidnapped Dagger. Cloak and Dagger in this book. So it was good to see Cloak and Dagger. But however, it wasn't, because I'm looking at this book and I'm like, now wait a minute. This is not... Wait, how does Cloak still have the Dark Force powers and Dagger still has her light powers. Reality-wise, their powers are supposed to be switched. Cloak is supposed to have the light powers, while Dagger now has the Dark Force powers. So I was like, that's not. There's no continuity. Once again, fuck you, Loeb, because that's Loeb right there. No continuity. Anyway, uh, we know Romulus was in the Dark Dimension, in the Dark Force dimension. That's where he's been left, and he uses Dagger to get Wolverine out, and of course Cloak. You know, Cloak. Tyrone loves Cloak very much. They've been a very close bond for years, and we get a pretty in-depth fight between them. And all of a sudden, Wolverine is saved by this mysterious woman, redhead. Something about redheads and Wolverine, and she tells him that if you want to know more, go back to Weapon X. You know, there's there, and so pretty much we go there, and there's just like clones of Sabretooths or so, and it gets like a dozen of them, and I'm like, oh, come on, you're doing the whole clone crap. That's I hate clone stuff. Done right, okay, but done wrong, get out of here. And that's what I saw from this. And then all of a sudden, the one true wrong run, the whole, what, Sabretooth always calls Wolverine, and that's pretty much how it ends. But as of right now, by far, the first issue, first of all, kudos, thank you, Marvel, for putting Cloak and Dagger. Two underrated characters. Fuck you, Loeb, for not keeping them content for what they are. If you see right there, you made your mistake. You screwed it over and you buttered your bread and now you're sleeping it. So fuck you, Loeb, again, because you screwed him over. Cloak is supposed to have the light powers. Dagger is supposed to have the Dark Force powers. So you screwed up, Loeb. Fuck you. Okay? But Simone Blanchi's artwork was really good. But a not so bad start, but they gotta explain that crap, because if it comes off with the clone stuff, that's it. Fuck that. Right. Sorry. I let Hurricane out a little bit. I'm sorry, guys. But he needed to come out. Yeah. Alright. Next up, last book for today. Last book is XFactor number 239. And the best way to sum up this book, and not even going to take too much time. Peter David, salute you. Good stuff. What this is Banshee versus a real live Banshee. Yes, indeed. Get a good look, because that is pretty much it. Oh, man. Teresa, she really, Sirius is outclassed by a real Banshee. She even tries to do her Banshee cry, and the Banshee just looks at her as like, that's your best? That is are you trying to impress me with your Banshee cry? Okay, let me show you how it's really done. Let the Banshee keen for you, really. One scream nearly blows Banshee's eardrums out. Her nose is just bleeding, and she's like, oh my god, what the fuck? Like oh my god, she's just... This was just a really good story. But yeah, basically, the bottom line is, I think Banshee has her own real villain in this now, because that's pretty much what it is. Also in this book, we got Guido and Monette M. Guido hitting on Monette and getting on a date. I guess they're getting ready to go on a date or something, because we saw that leading up in the previous books and things like that. But yeah, man, it was not looking good for Banshee. I'm talking about this Banshee, Teresa, in this book. I love the ending too, when Havoc said, "So Teresa, what do you think? What are you gonna do?" I think I'm gonna have me a drink. Sorry, that's the worst Irish accent I've ever done, but I love Irish accents. So not my best. I can do it better, but no, that was. But yeah, this was really good. Peter David, still no slouch on X Factor. Marvel, don't ever let this guy leave this book. 2 thumbs up, peace sign, whatever. Salute, David. Good stuff. I really enjoyed it very much. All right. Okay. So that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed what I've delivered to you, as always. Um, Tell me what you thought, what you picked up. You know, um, for all those guys out there that like to give me synopsis on books that I don't read, I would kindly appreciate. Please don't give me synopsis on anything this time. Thank you very much for. Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. But other than that, what else can I tell you? Oh, I'm gonna be busy this next weekend or so. Next week, so the review for July 11th books will be a little late. Better late than never. It's okay, because I know you guys will, no matter what, you'll still enjoy it and things like that. But I will be a little late for that week's books. Um, but yeah, so kindly, basically, there won't be a review. So whatever episode this is, the next episode will be a little late. I'm just telling you right ahead, so you don't like, hey, where's Chris's review, man? What happened? I hope everything's okay. I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna be busy taking the girl, taking you know who. Uh, you know what I'm talking about. So, other than that, I'll be a little busy about chicken wow. Yeah, and I can't wait. I'm sorry, taking my girl out next week. Gonna have a really good weekend. So, but other than that, you guys take care. It's Mama and Kids saying peace, one love, stay tuned, keep it real as always. Peace.